LF Don, Lord of Fenom, was good, everybody was good. Tune on in. I ask that you hit the share button right down there. Hit that share button right down there. Let's get this video out to everybody. I like to start this by saying the title of this video. Excuse me, my light always goes in and out. Okay, so the title of this video is the NBA always gets triples at the end of the game, because for the simple fact they count by 2 and by 3. Earlier this morning, I got tagged in a post. If you're going to tag me in a post, I beg of you, do not tag not another group leader in it whatsoever. Only because we are different like night and day. There's no two alike. So don't tag my name and another group leader name in the same post as if you're requesting me to look at the post and identify why, Miami Heat got triple ones and Milwaukee Bucks got triple ones, as if triple ones are going to come out. I will look at it, I will examine it, but do not tag another group leader in there with me, because we're in 2 different leagues. And I mean that respectfully, and I mean that being cocky as well, because we're in 2 different leagues all the way around, not just in one point of view all the way around. So again, I take issues with group leaders. Don't tag group leaders in with my name. Yeah. So why does the group NBA gets triple ones so often? Well, first and foremost, after 4 quarters, they're always averaging about 90 points, 100 some points. So the only triple they would ever have would be triple ones. I have yet to see them make it to triple twos. So that's for one and for the most. First and foremost. Secondly, when you understand the structure of NBA, they do the scoring by 2 and by 3. By 2 and by 3. Sounds familiar? That's my exact system. This is why triples show up frequently in NBA games. And then everybody rush out to go play triple ones, because they see it in their NBA game. Now, of course, I know NBA is rigged, but when it just comes down to the final score, it don't have to be, coerced all the way to the final score. As long as the team they told you is supposed to win, that's all that matters. Now, with that being said, you see my system show up time and time again. NBA stats, the universal stats with the Star Trek and their universal code. It's hidden in every single thing about life, whether it's base numbers, series, trip triggers, triples. It's all intertwined in life. So this is why NBA gets triple ones frequently. When you understand that, there's no need to rush out to play any lottery triple ones. Understand this is why they come up with it, because they count by 2 and count by 3. I come up with a system called the by 2 by 3. Naturally, on my own, without even understanding that the NBA counts by 2 and by 3. No, I perfectly did that on my own without even understanding of knowing that the NBA does that by 2 and by 3 system. But I'm glad I did figure it out. So now, 4 years down the line, I can say, wow, the the NBA counts by 2 by 3. I have never said that before on live stream, I don't think. This may be the first time. So yeah, it's hidden gems in my knowledge all the way around. It's plenty hidden gems. All you gotta do is look for it and search, and it'll come to you. It'll come to you regardless, because you're using the correct system. So this is half the reason why I say don't tag me and another group leader in the same post, because they don't have a system to offer you. They have a list of numbers to offer you to play. They don't have a system. So they're still using the guessing system versus the factual logical system. I only use the logical system. I went over a few triples from 2018, 2017. And I'd be damned, before I went live as Lottery Fenom, those triple was coming out exactly how my book 4 explains it. Exactly with the book 3 trip triggers. This is before I started in 2018. I just got done back checking all these states in 2017, 2018, 2016. Excuse me, and it don't end. So, why would I be back testing it? To further let you know, you'll stay paid forever. So if I've been doing this for 4 years and it's 2022, I back checked it since 2018, I back checked it since 2017, 2016, and understand what I mean is they were more flawless then than they are now, because it's becoming a lot tougher because we cracked the code. If you go and gauge your 2017s, your 2016s, your 2015s, your 2010s, 11s, you're coming to find out it was so easy with these systems. Now, fast forward to 2022, look at 2021, how difficult it become. Look at 2020, how difficult it's starting to become. Yeah, it's still falling flawlessly, but it was so much easier back then before I even existed on Lottery Fenom. And that's what I'm trying to say. So again, this is why I say don't tag me and other group leaders in the same post. They're not on my level. If anything, I can keep them paid forever by using my system. The problem is they're going to want to use my system and call it their system. That's the problem. Truth be told, y'all, that's the only problem. I don't personally have a problem with nobody. I personally dislike group leaders because I know their problem is they want my system and they want to call it their own so they can be verified that they're good at lottery for real. And this is why. So, what made me different from them to this day of? I'm verified by my system, not by my getting on live and saying, hey, the next hit is going to be right here in New Mexico. The next hit is going to be right here in Illinois. That's not what certifies me any longer. My system certifies me, and they envy that all the way around. So that will forever be the problem. Not because I personally don't like them, because I know their problem. They envy. And they hate the group leaders. My group's getting all these hits. Meaning, my group members are verifying that I'm the shit, and they can't stand that. Y'all don't mind me, I'm finna turn the AC on. It's getting kind of hot in here. I would have let the windows down, but it's too noisy. Oh, that means my steering wheel gonna move up. I'm gonna have to readjust my let me just let the windows down. So, if I was crank the car up, then the steering wheel will raise up, and it'll be all that. So yeah, I just came on here to let y'all know, please don't tag me into any other group leaders post, no matter what. And if somebody come up and try to rob me, don't y'all cry, don't y'all worry. Everything I have is replaceable. I can go and get the same stuff tomorrow if I want. So don't y'all worry. I'll risk it all for y'all. Other than that, these triples, quads, the Puerto Rico's quad 8s, it's on YouTube. Tennessee quad trip 7s, it's on YouTube. And you come to find out it's the same ordeal. It never fails. Going to be sending back orders out Monday. If you're needing a order checked into, I will be sending that out Monday. When I say it's going to keep you paid forever, that's exactly what it means. It doesn't mean that you're going to get the book and then you're going to call me or message me and say what triple is about to hit. Like I tell everybody, it's no need to. You're learning exactly how I play. You're learning it exactly how I would play it. So when you need me to give you the number, you got to understand that. All you got to do is understand the philosophy. You're going to get the number I would play. You're really going to see it's a matching game. It's like finding the matching card. All you're doing is matching the correct number with the other replacement. That's all you're doing at the end of the day. The whole thing about it is it's a system. And the system has to do exactly what the system has to do. I wouldn't have been able to last 4 years if it didn't add up, y'all. I promise you that. I'd have been done in year 1. So understand that it does add up. Understand that it does work, and it does work for everybody. It just takes a few people quite longer to grasp it, but it's clear as day. It's real simple. And when all else fails, play your trip triggers, because the trip triggers is what's falling majority of the time versus triples. If you get one triple every 3 months, what are you doing in between time? So the in-between stuff becomes more important than the triple. The triple is most important because it ties everything in. Like, the triple is your shoe or your boot. Everything before the triple, everything after the triple, is your shoestrings. It's the strings for your boot. It's exactly what's going on in lottery. That's it. The triple is the foundation. Everything before and after brings it together. That's all that's going on. I'm trying to finish this spaghetti. It's kind of good, but it kind of sucks. And it don't suck. I just eat it 24/7 all the time. And I'm just getting tired of eating it 24/7. I'm at the same location I was at last time. I'm just sitting out in the car. The restaurant kind of loud. So take my word for it. You will be paid forever. I was listening to an audio book last night. It's very important. These audio books is where I get the understanding that you should measure money, not earn it. And what I mean by that is, when you earn it, it has a set foundation. You go in and clock in for 40 hours. That's earning. But when you measure it, you should, okay, I'm going to do about 20 grand here at this location. And then, this is before you even start at the location. And then the next location, I'm going to do about another 20 grand. So if I know I can do this one for 3 months, and I know I can do this other one for 3 months, something may pan out at that other one that may have me being independent now, to where I don't have to clock in for those 40 hours a week. See, when you go to earn it, You don't even think about your next 6 months. You don't even think about your next 3 months. So you don't even think about what you're going to make at this job. All you want to know is what hourly wage you get, and will you be giving me 40 hours a week? But if you understand that, hey, I want to measure this out. Let me take the measuring approach. So you're offering me X, Y, and Z dollars per hour. At minimum, you need me 40 hours. What 40 hours is that taking me from getting 40 hours done on something else? Now you're measuring it versus earning it. Now, put yourself in a position to where you don't have to physically be there to earn it. You need this job done, that job done, and that job done. That's kind of like having a subcontractor. You're subbing each job out and you're getting a percentage from it. It's pretty much that in a nutshell. Be somewhere where you don't have to earn it. See, when you don't have to earn it, you can look at it much differently. Now, it can go for any field, any job qualification. It's just that I'm just giving you the briefing of it, of when I say measure it, don't earn it. Because when you're earning it, you just put yourself in a box. Your boss needs you to do X, Y, and Z. They need you to do X, Y, Z for X amount of hours for X amount of dollars. That's it. That's the earned category. That's where earned end at. When you're measuring it, I need that subdivision right there, and then this subdivision that I'm acquiring will be paying for that subdivision over there. So I need funding from point A, point B, point C, point D. If I do not get funding from point A, point B, point C, point D, then I got E, F, G, and H to depend on. And if I just get 2 out of each category, that'll be enough funding to at least get initiated. Now I can at least get the ball rolling for subdivision 1. And then I'm still looking at subdivision 2, letting people know that with F, G, H, and I, hey, I still need a subdivision 2. They think that's subdivision 1. So they think you haven't even broke ground. But that's your second set of clients that you're speaking to about funding your subdivision 2. So you're no longer earning it, meaning you didn't box yourself in for just subdivision 1, clocking in for real estate agent XYZ. You're now measuring your success versus earning it. If you're earning it, you just limited your success. Trust me, I've been earning it for 10, 20, 15 years. So I understand the difference between earning and measuring it. Now, if I looked at it for measuring, I'd have been telling my boss man that I cut grass with, look, I can cut grass with you for 6 months right now. But at the end of 6 months, I will need my own truck, my own equipment, because you have the equipment to spare. And after this 6 months, you put me in a position where you're getting a piece of everything I make. But I'm making majority of it because I'm now putting myself in a position to be my own boss. Now I can sub out everybody's doing every job that I get. So instead of me doing a job for $150, I get $40 and then split the other difference between the other crew. So the crew can come and do it, but then I just make 40, and then I get they get the majority of it. But when I was with my boss man, I was only getting $40, $50 a day. So now I could just subcontract this one property and make 40 off of it, and then sub another property, and then sub another property. Now I made $200 for the whole day versus only making $40 and $50 a day. Now I got a truck. Now I got equity. I got a truck. I got equipment. If I fall on hard times, I could go to the pawn shop. Hey, let me pawn this weed eater. Even though I don't need it, even though I need it, I can do without it. Let me pawn this blower. Even though I need it, I can do without it. So now you got equity paying off bills during the hard times. Now, you got other clients going on. You got other calls you could be making. So let's say it's rainy outside. You cannot do nothing in the rain. You can't cut grass in the rain. If you're earning money, that's where your dollars stop at. Hey, y'all just sit down, wait till it stops raining. I may come get you, I may not. It's raining. Now, if you measure the money, hey, I see this property over here at 111 Peachtree. Can I come out and take care of your yard for you? I charge you $79 deal right now, but the typical price is $150. Okay, yeah, sure. You can come out. Now, you didn't bust a move, but you just made another account while it's raining. So now you're measuring your success. Now I can sub out that next property without even having to go cut it. I got the equipment, I got the truck. Hey, y'all go cut that grass right there. I'm sitting at home just making the phone calls. Now I'm measuring the money. I'm no longer earning it. It's a difference. But again, once you understand the difference, then you pretty much get it. It's more lucrative to measure it than it is to earn it. And it could be put into the most basic of ways, but you got to have control. If you don't have control over the money situation and you just clocking in, then you're going to be a step backwards. So you got to be able to have somewhat control or somewhat say so. And again, you can do it, excuse me, you can do it from a boss standpoint, from an employee standpoint, but it doesn't work better for you from an employee standpoint. But measure money, don't earn it. Same way, they have to estimate the gold in Fort Knox because it's so secret. You can't get in it. You can't find out what's in that vault because it's government and it's their money. So they say, well, you take the width of the building times the length of the building times how big a bar of gold is, and then you've come up with the figure that it should be $2.1 trillion in gold in that building. Okay, what did they just do? They just measured the money. They didn't have to go earn it. Now, with that being said, you know how much capital this entity has to give out, how much capital the entity can bring in, by the way of knowing what they're holding or speculating of what they're holding. So what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, it's all about measurement. Now, when they go print the money, the dollar bill had to be a certain length, the dollar bill had to be a certain width. They can tell by the length and the width of this square piece of paper before they chop it up and cut it into dollar fragments. They know how much that whole sheet of paper is before they even cut it up into different denominations. Meaning, if it's a big spreadsheet of $100 bills, before they cut it up into $100 bills for consumption, they know, okay, that full sheet is $1,000. $2,000 for that full sheet. It's a $2,000 worth of $100 bills. Put it that way is what I'm trying to say. Before they even get to cutting it up, that's a measurement. At the end of the day, that becomes more prolific than earning anything. And once you put it into that realm, I guarantee you're going to start earning a lot more. I'm no money expert. I blow money 24/7. But the reason I blow money 24/7 is because money chases me 24/7. I don't chase it, and I don't earn it. How did I flip the role to where the lottery corporation has done more for me than I have done for it? By measuring what the lottery corporation did. They did this with that number right there. They did that with that number right there. If you go back 4 draws, if you go back 30 draws, if you go back 33 draws, that is a measurement. So guess what? Someone had to have a conversation with me and ask me, how did I reverse the roles? Why do you make more money with the lottery corporation than you spend with them? And you don't hit a number. So at the end of the day, it must be something to measuring this shit than earning this shit. It must be something to measuring your success before you ever earned it. And then you can earn that success by measuring it. That's a full day's work. I measured out of my success. That's why I'm earning it. That's why I earned it. I didn't sit on my butt even if I sat on my butt because I measured it the correct way. I didn't earn it. Since high school, they've been telling y'all ass to go out, get a job, go out, get a job, go out, get a job. They didn't teach you to think for yourself. Go out, create a job. Go out, create a job. Google, Facebook, all that started in a garage. They went out and created it. I'd rather be Bill Gates than anybody clocked in right now. If you're clocking in right now, I would not want to be you. I'd rather be Bill Gates. Not saying Bill Gates didn't have to clock in, but god dang it, that Microsoft all started at home. It didn't start because he clocked in. But then again, Steve Jobs clocked in, and then he became, Steve Jobs. But he created it. And that time he spent there had to be measured. look here, I can do such and such for this many years, but I'm going to have an offspring company, and this offspring company will rival your company. So you can buy me out because you can't afford to keep me hired as an employee. That comes with measurement versus earning it. Oh, I earned $19 as a LPN. Okay, great. You earned $19, but you're boxed in. You can't get another $2,300 unaccounted for because that's not on your schedule. If you measure your, I would say success, if you measure your movement, he ain't playing Nipsey. It ain't Nipsey. So anyway, if it ain't measured, then you're hustling backwards. So if you're LPN making $19 an hour, and by far, there's nothing wrong with that. But you're boxed your income in. You just box it in. You're not available. You can't go check out, Northside Drive Hospital, Northside Hospital. You can't go check out Crawford Loan. You can't go check out all of these different hospitals that you can quote unquote work at without getting fired for trying to go with the competition. So if you worked at Walmart, they'll tell you, have you worked for the competitors? If you work at Lowe's, they'll ask, have you ever worked for the competitor? But what's wrong with me working at Lowe's, Home Depot, Office Depot, Office Max, all at the same given time, getting X amount of dollars here, X amount of dollars there? Now, I know it's only X amount of time in a day, but let's say Office Depot has a management position opening up within another 2 weeks. You've been working at your current job for X amount of days, but you had already had it measured because you found out that Office Depot was hiring for managers through the wind a month ago. Now you're telling, your supervisors, look, I can work for you for X amount of days, X amount of hours. That's fine and dandy. But when it comes time for this move, I'm going to do this move. I still want to work with you on the in-between days, but I'm letting you know right now, it's about to happen and this will happen. Yeah, you're going to get a lot of, oh, no, you can't do that. Oh, no, we don't work with the competitors. That's my competitor. But you're chasing your success and your vision. So you shouldn't have to worry about what their competitors doing, this, that, and third. It shouldn't limit you. The only reason it limit you because you can find other benefits at this other corporation or this other job. Now you got both of the benefits coming in simultaneously. I mean, come on, you can't do nothing but win in a position like that. I'd rather have 2 checks instead of 1 check. But at the same time, that requires you to be physically there. So how can you operate it to where you don't have to be physically there in both places all at once? Ask, do they have a stay-at-home program? You could be a customer service representative from home while you're working at Lowe's. You could work at Home Depot just on the phone calls type of situation. Or for Papa John's, you could just stay at home and do, online orders, the customer service online. Regardless of that, all you're doing is measuring it versus earning it. Put yourself in a position to measure it first before you even consider earning it. This is not me being a professional about how you're supposed to make money. This is me being a realist. Now, other than that, there's been plenty of times that I can give you a vision and it don't pan out. It could be plenty of times I can give you a suggestion and it don't pan out. And the reason being that it does not pan out is because it, for one, not for you. 2, might have been something only I could imagine, and it would have only worked if I did it. This is what gurus don't tell you. This is what the Jeff Bezos won't tell you. But once you get to realizing it, you don't need them to tell you. All you need them to do is get out your way. So when you go and ask them, can I get funding? And they say, well, now we're not going to fund something like that. You're actually in the way. There's nothing wrong with you funding 1,000 little increment jobs because it's a tax write-off. The reason they're telling you no is more likely personal versus lucrative. At the end of the day, it ain't a such thing as a good deal every deal. But even if you lose money, you can use it as a tax write-off when you're a multi-billionaire. So when you're a multi-hundred billionaire, it's no such thing as a bad small investment because that small investment, whether it goes great or not, is a tax write-off at the end of the day. So when they're denying you, or when they're taking their sweet time to say, you know what, you can be involved in this project, I'll fund your project, it's because they just have a personal problem and they don't really want to deal with you. They don't want you to be having wealth or be wealthy. B is because the job that you're requiring ain't big enough for their pockets. You know, they want $100 billion move. They want $100 billion move versus a $1 million move. Yeah, if you add this in every elevator, I guarantee you we'll make $1 million the first year. But the product only costs $10. The spread on that is just too small. You know, tell me our next $100 billion play. And if you have that $100 billion play, you won't need the funding. Within that play, the money's going to be in there because it's worth $100 billion. So the money's going to already show up, and you're going to find out exactly where the money is going to come from. Remember that much. You're going to find out exactly where the money's going to come from because it's a certain $1 million play, a $1 billion play. Excuse me, $100 billion play, not just $1 billion. Because once you understand the conglomerate size of that play, the small crumbs from that play is going to bring you the initial money to get started. And if you can explain it right, put it into a business proposal, within that business proposal, the banks may deny you because of your credit, but a boss that already got the money in the bank won't deny you because it's a great idea. This is what Shark Tank is all about. So forget the political route by going to the bank. Go straight to the source. You know, that's part of the measurement, going to the source. At the end of the day, y'all, lottery is lottery. It's about what you do with the money, not just about getting to that money. It's what do you do with the money once you accumulate it. You know, that's what it's about. Don't be like me and have addiction to buying clothes and jewelry, but have an addiction to buying it, and you'll find out that ends soon and shortly, because you don't have no more room in the closet, because you don't have no more things you need. Everything in the store you already brought, so you don't need to buy nothing else. So it's not such a bad thing. So at the end of the day, you know what you need to do, but let me be fair with you. At the end of the day, you don't know what you need to do. That's why you're stuck wondering, can somebody else answer the questions for you? I just got to be God honest, truthful with you. I can't say you do know what to do. No, you don't. Because you wouldn't be waiting for nobody to answer the questions. I don't know what to do to get $100 million. I don't. But I think I got the set foundation. So understand, we're both in that boat. So when I tell you, I can tell you something, even though it's a great idea, don't mean it's going to pan out for you. It might have been just a good enough idea for me to get started with it and to do it my way. But again, I'm just trying to see if it'll rub off on you and help you at the end of the day. Good is just good. You know, I'm trying to my best to put my best foot forward. Hopefully it works for you. If not, okay, I understand it. Tweak it a little bit and do it your particular way. I know they trying to get in here. But yeah, just do it your own particular way. At the end of the day. At the end of the day, you got to boss up one way, shape, form, or fashion. When you do, you'll know the difference in the way you move, the way you structure yourself, the way you measure yourself before you make any type of transactions or any type of dealings with anything. Most people measure themselves before they order a book. Do I order this book? If I order this book, what will it bring me? Will it be for nothing? Will it be this? Will it be that? You're measuring yourself. You're not measuring your success. Y'all got to excuse me. You know, I had to open the door and spit and do all that stuff. Excuse me. But I did that for good reasoning. You know, because somebody pulled up to the side of the door, hopped out the car. So, you know, I have to make sure I'm adjusted correctly to, if anything pop off, 2 steps ahead. So again, I did that for particular reasons, not because I had to, because I like to be 2 steps ahead. So if they was to approach me, I could have hopped out because the door's already open, hit them with the door, and then grab whatever they had in their hand, and then commence the fighting. So I didn't want to get caught lacking because they stepped out and open the trunk right next to my window. So that's why, I opened the door and spit on the ground. I didn't have to, though. So do excuse me. I like to be 2 steps ahead. And I would advise you to always be 2 steps ahead. But still don't worry about if wrong happens. If you're here for another day, then understand that you still can boss up the next day, and understand that everything is replaceable. So if you already got measurements to replace it, my jeweler already know what I like. My jeweler already got things I like. My jeweler already expects me when he see my face to come and get it. So if I'm ever robbed, understand, nobody will know the difference, because I'm going to have something new on next week. It's going to be just as fly. It's going to be just the same. I'm always 2 steps ahead. I wouldn't do it unless I had to, unless it was effortlessly, put it that way. At the end of the day, y'all, tell these folks, do not tag me with other group leaders. We are 2 different type of people. It's not one group leader that's trying to help you financially. It's not one group leader that tries to tell you good karma and how things can actually pan out for you, how you can maneuver out here, how you can, boss up. At the end of the day, they don't have anything for you to boss up with at the end of the day. So it's like a smack in the face when you think that they're worthy enough to be tagged in with me. It's not uppity. It only makes sense. 20 years from now, if they Google my name, I don't want my name popping up, tagged up under their stuff with them. As if there's something to read about too. Like if Da Vinci had a book, and then Da Vinci had a Facebook, and everything Da Vinci says, you got the nobodies tagged with Da Vinci. And now everything that's tagged with Da Vinci, y'all go and take it for praise because that's Da Vinci. Not understanding the people that was tagged in that with Da Vinci wasn't shit. They wasn't nothing. They end up just being tagged with Da Vinci for no reasons. But regardless, it's not to point the finger at anybody. But what I'm just saying is, don't tag me with just anybody. Make sure I fucks with them. Fuck that. Make sure I fucks with them. Make sure that we're on good terms. Make sure they didn't pay me and still decided to act like they don't know me. Make sure that when you tag them in any post that I'm tagged in, make sure they stand up as individuals. I already showed you who was snake and who not by different measures. Every single one of them. If I don't know of them, that's only because they're not trying to be group leaders, or they're not trying to seek, notice that they're the new person on the street and you should check them out. So they're not seeking that type of stature. That's the only thing I may not know, reason why I may not know of them. But I don't think that anyone's going to keep it as real as me. And by me knowing that, I don't even want to be in the same room, the same mention, the same post, the same thought as them. Because do it big and let whatever fall under that and stay right there. Like young Jesus say, if the money hit the flow, then it's the flow money. I don't even tend to want to pick up the money. If it hit the flow, it's the flow money. And that's what we mean. So at the end of the day, when you start to see stuff differently, you move differently, you act differently. When you act differently, you're not switching up, you're not changing, you're growing. But you're not growing, you're measuring yourself to this limit, not limit. You're measuring yourself to this next plateau. So you got to grow to get to that next plateau. Growing is a form of measurement. So at the end of the day, do you better than you did you. So whatever you did to you yesterday, do it better today. And if you only did what you're doing yesterday a little bit better today, then you're already 10 steps behind. Do what you did to you last month 1,000 times better this month. Did I practice what I preach? Yeah. My car was down and out. I just got my car fixed fully. Things I could wait to pay, I just pay in advance. And it's just stuff I could care less about. I'm still a rebel. I still run every light. I still don't stop at a stop sign like I'm supposed to. All this stuff is still situated to me being a rebel. So you have your picks and chooses. But I'm not perfect, and I'm not about to be perfect. But I'm going to be perfect enough for me and do what works for me. And I advise you to do the same. But then I advise you to switch it up and do what you haven't done yet to find out what can work for you. Because you're only doing what works for you, then you won't do nothing new. So broaden your horizons. If you don't do anything else, charge $10 more for what you do. You cut hair, charge $10 more. If you paint pictures, charge $10 more. If you wash cars, charge $10 more. If you wait tables, come and hello, my name is Jill. I start with a minimum $10 tip, and trust me, with this $10 tip, you're gonna get X, Y, and Z type of service. You have Rolls Royce service for your $10 tip. Now, you have the opportunity to tip however you like, but at minimum, we require $10, and for good reason. At the end of the day, you'll know by the time you get done with this dinner experience why at minimum I'm requiring $10 to start with. And that's if you host tables or wait tables. At the end of the day, if you just give each individual a piece of peppermint, that immediately will get you a $5 to $10 tip immediately. Now, if you have a minimum, they're going to do your 5 or 10 and then do you a 5 or 10 more dollars extra because you went out your way. Have moist towelettes. Most waiters don't have moist towelettes. If you have moist towelettes, you're ahead of the curve. Meaning, they don't have raggedy ass paper napkins to dry their hands off with or wipe their hands off with. You bought a $1 pack of towelettes from the dollar store. Take it out of your pouch, and you say, "Here, this is for you. This is your towelettes. After you eat your ribs, after you eat your dinner, this is what you do." Now, immediately you're gonna get a $10, $15 tip. With that $10, $15, you can just now buy 3 to 4 more towelettes, and you just made your $10 minimum. Now we talking. Now what Fenom said kind of makes sense. When you find out it makes sense, you just got to tweak it for your description. Then you say, okay, I can tune into him every day. Then you can say, I see why he's different from every other group leader. This is the MLK Dr. Sabi. They are not about that. They need your dollar for their list of numbers. That's all they know. We do so much more here, y'all. So hit the share button, share this video everywhere, tag me, and when you tag me, tag only me. And unless you're tagging Jacob or Timothy or some one of them. Other than that, holla at me on YouTube. I'll talk to y'all later. One love.